Ich kann mindestens 3 Sachen davon. Oder 4 sogar. Boah, ich bin krass. Alle mitmachen? Rinder.
Top 15 things most humans can't do.
Der Typ hört sich an, als würde er gleich einpennen. Easy kann ich.
However, despite the gross squishy stuff inside of us, it can do some interesting.
Ja, klar, kann ich. Da muss man gar nicht lange drüber reden. Passt auf. Passt auf. Ich nehme einfach jetzt dieses Bein und drehe es einfach. Warte. Ich hab's. Okay. Wir lassen das. Wir lassen das. Ah, ich bin schon alt, okay? Warte, weiter. Aua. Ich hab's mir nur so halb immer angeguckt. Ich habe nebenher noch was gemacht, habe noch nicht alles gesehen davon. Nur so durchgeskippt bei dem Video. Hä? Diese Menschen, die sowas machen, die haben doch keine Knochen mehr, oder? Die gönnen sich die Nase. Das darfst du bei mir nicht machen. Bei mir ist die Gefahr hoch, dass da mal so ein kleines Windlein weht.
Do these weird, unthinkable things, and that's why today on Top 5 Best, we're going over the top 15 things most people can't do. To point across to another person, most people use facial expressions. Some people use their fists, but most people use facial expressions. In fact, please use your facial expressions.
Das eine Augenbraue hochmachen.
Range from smiling to simply raising one's eyebrows. Although this may sound simple, most people can't.
Eine Augenbraue hochmachen, könnt ihr das? Eine Augenbraue? Kann ich das? Wait, ich muss mich selber angucken dabei, ansonsten check ich nichts. Ah, easy. Oha, ich bin besonders. Ich bin einfach besonders. Kann nur ich.
Now you may be thinking to yourself, yes I can, but as some of you may be trying now, you can't. People call the raising of the one eyebrow the eyebrow cock. The raising of one eyebrow is the universal symbol of skepticism. It's like some saying, oh really? Although you're watching this video right now, you're still trying to raise your one eyebrow, aren't you?
Ja, habe ich versucht und ich kann's.
You simply start by keeping one eyebrow down with one hand and holding one up with the other. Keep practicing this in the mirror so you can detect the correct muzzle movement to obtain one eyebrow up. Number 14, gleeking. Although this next ability may sound disgusting, there's only a few people who can actually gleek. Gleeking is also known as gleeking, or gleeking is like spitting, but it is not quite exactly like spitting. This term gleeking means projecting saliva from the submandibular gland upon compression of the tongue.
Hä? Könnt ihr das? Wie macht er das? Wie geht das? Wie kann der denn bitte schön aus seiner Zunge spritzen? Das passiert manchmal automatisch bei mir. Ja, aber nicht aus der Zunge, sondern woanders. Also,
neues Abo.
Olli! Kuss!
Control how much your mouth produces and releases saliva. The majority of the time, gleeking is involuntary, but there is a way to learn how to gleek with just a little.
Junge, das ist ja wie so eine Wasserknarre. Wie so eine Wasserknarre.
13, lick your elbow. Many people can easily bend their arm or elbow. Most people can also stick their tongue out, but most people can't do them together.
Das kriege ich hin. Oder auch nicht. Könnt ihr euren... Ich komm bis hier. Könnt ihr euren Ellenbogen lecken? Nee, das geht doch nicht. Das können bestimmt nur Frauen. Das können safe nur Frauen, weil die nicht so viel hier oben so Dings haben. Safe. Das können bestimmt nur Girlies wieder. Die sind oben dünner gebaut. An der Schulter. Olli kann das bestimmt auch. Junge. Die schlägt sich einfach den Arm.
Try it now. Make sure you're alone though, or you may look like a complete idiot. Because this is a rare ability that only a few people spread throughout the world can actually
Ich bin doch nicht so besonders.
It's obviously not so impossible for some people. Supposedly, Guinness World Records gets about 5 claims a day from people who think that they're special just because they can lick their elbows. Number 12, twitch your nose. For this next weird ability, we head back up into the face area, smack dab in the middle, right to the nose.
Hä?
Nose twitching became noticeable was when Bewitched star Samantha Stevens began to
Nose twitching? Nase wackeln?
Nose twitch became a sort of trademark for
Mit der Nase wackeln? Könnt ihr das? Mit der Nase wackeln? Ist das das? Ja, oder? Oder was meinen die mit Nase wackeln?
Bewitched. Nose twitching can also be involuntary and can be symptoms of a serious medical condition. Some people have trouble flaring their nostrils for the same reason.
Ja, so kann ich das aber nicht.
Items on this list, it's something that can be learned. Worth doing too, as it's a pretty endearing little trick. Maybe people will compare you to a cute little rabbit or something.
Ah, das kitzelt.
Number 11, wiggling your ears. When most people think of wiggling a body
das kann ich nicht.
toes or fingers and
Das kann ich nicht mit meinen Ohren wackeln. Das habe ich keinen Plan, wie das. Nein, das lassen wir. Stopp! Das geht nicht. Das geht nicht. Kann das voll gut auch mit meiner Nase pfeifen. Ohren wackeln und Augen. Was in den Augen zittern?
even your butt. But you would never think of wiggling your ears now, would you? Your cats can do it, and so can the hippo and Jeff Goldblum. But only a few other people in the world can wiggle their ears. Although you can train yourself to wiggle your ears by simply isolating your ear wiggling muscle.
Ah, wie hat ja den perfekten, das perfekte Zitat parat? Das sieht ganz komisch aus. Das geht nicht.
Practice wiggling your ears without moving any other parts of your face. It's a lot harder than it seems. Number 10. Sneeze with your eyes open. When you sneeze, you immediately clench your eyes shut.
Ah, das habe ich mal gemacht, danach hatte ich voll die Augenschmerzen. Das ist nicht so geil.
Cover your nose and mouth. Well, what if that's not the case for everybody? Some people when sneezing can keep their eyes wide open. Now most of you are thinking, if you did force open your eyes, your eyeballs pop out when you sneeze? Well, the answer is no. Your eyes are actually...
Mach kein Auge. Wieso will man das überhaupt machen? Wieso will man das können?
quite secure and your eye sockets aren't connected to your nose at all. So, although a sneeze can erupt from your nose at an explosive 200 miles per hour, it can't transfer this pressure into your eye sockets to throw your eyeball.
Das sieht man doch komplett.
So, yes, there are people who can do this.
Emmy,
You are one of those people, let's hope your
du hast aber dein bestes Bild
side.
eingereicht.
Number 9, putting your fist in your mouth. When people think of things going in their mouth, they think food, but definitely not your fist. The majority of the population can only get half or barely a quarter of their...
Soll ich das jetzt ausprobieren, oder was? Soll ich das? Was, du kannst das? Bitte? Du kannst deine Faust in... Never. Nee. Das kriege ich nicht hin. Na, hä? Das geht nicht. Nein. Frau Edi kann das bestimmt auch. Nee, never. Die ist viel zu groß. Die ist ja größer als mein Kopf, die Faust. Oh, aua. Nee, das geht nicht. Nee. Das mache ich nicht. Bedo kann das bestimmt nicht.
Their fizz into their mouths.
Junge.
Seriously, they've done studies on this stuff. Successfully fitting your entire fist in your mouth usually requires both a large mouth and small hands. Although the steps for putting your fist in your mouth are easy enough.
Aber warum will man
1,
das?
make a fist. 2, insert into mouth. Most people can't do it. Majority of the people who can do this are women, and the other few men who are able to do it either have small hands.
Aber warum will man das können?
Or maybe even both. Number 8, writing a number 6 while moving your foot clockwise. Okay, even I have to admit this one is definitely a weird entry. The first thing most people were taught when doing multitasking is pat your head and rub your stomach at the same time. Making the multitasking of patting your head and rubbing your stomach even harder was to do each part in opposite directions. Nowadays, when people do fun little multitasking actions, they are completely more complex.
Uff, das kann ich glaube ich auch nicht.
Multitasking that people are doing today is writing a 6 and moving your leg clockwise at the same time.
Das ist den Fuß kreisen und dabei eine 6 in die Luft malen. Uff, das kann ich glaube ich nicht. Also, so und dann oh, doch, kann ich. Easy. Und dann eine 6. Okay, das geht klar. Das geht. War das jetzt nach dem Uhrzeigersinn? Wait. Was ist der Uhrzeigersinn? Ja, doch. In die Richtung, ne? So, ne? So. So und dann eine 6. Ja, kann ich. Alles entspannt. Alles entspannt. Multitasking-fähig bin nichts, ja. Bin ja doch der perfekte Hausmann. Aber das will ja keiner hier sehen. Ne?
It sounds simple, but will completely trick your mind while trying to do this. It might take a while, but you are able to learn how to do this after some practice. Number 7. Touch your nose with your tongue.
Jo, das kann ich nicht.
Das
brauche ich gar nicht probieren, das kann ich nicht. Da bin ich raus. Da bin ich raus.
The ability to do this is actually a genetic trait, although there has been a few cases of people actually learning to touch their nose with their tongue.
Nee.
The only reason the small 10% of people can actually do this is due to the extreme lengths of their tongues.
Das Velo.
Their long tongues give them the ability to reach their nose. Number 6. Touching your chin with your tongue.
Das Kinn?
When someone licks their tongue out, they usually do it to tease someone, or maybe it's a game. But some special people can actually touch their chin with their tongue. Just like the previous weird body ability, this ability to touch your chin
Junge, was haben die für lange Zungen?
requires a lengthy tongue. This act became infamous from Gene Simmons from Kiss.
Oh, what the fuck?
At concerts, the celebrity would stick out his tongue and go completely wild with it, making it a huge trend back in the day. If you have a lengthy tongue, maybe you could touch your chin or your nose with your tongue. Who knows?
Was haben die alle so lange Zungen? What the fuck?
Okay, I'll go away. Number 5. Tongue tricks. My god, there's a lot of tongue stuff in this.
Noch mehr Zungen.
While we're still on the subject of tongues, there are a few tricks that most people can't do. Can you split or roll your tongue, perform a reverse T, flip your tongue 180 degrees, or make shapes like a spaceship or a clover leaf?
Huh?
Between 65 and 81% of people on Earth have this strange and seemingly arbitrary talent.
Fuck, was war das? Der hat die einfach gesteckt. Der hat einfach seine Zunge gesteckt.
Tongue tricks are debated on being genetic, but arguably others don't think so.
Was ist das? Hä? Junge, da sah ich ja alles voll. Was ist das für ein Ding?
Although a really pointless skill to have, it does make for some great party tricks. Number 4. Double jointed. Double jointedness, also known as hypermobility, is when the joints stretch out further than normal. Some hypermobile people can bend their thumb backwards with their wrist, bend their knee joints backwards, put their legs behind their head to perform other contortionist tricks.
Das sind diese Knochendinger, Menschen.
Common than you may think. Around 10 to 25% of the population
Yo.
is double jointed.
Yo.
Although many may be double jointed, some people who are double jointed can't do all the bending and twisting of certain body parts that others may be able to do. It can be even something so little as being able to move some fingers farther than regular people. Number 3. Eating a spoonful of cinnamon. Originally known as the Cinnamon Challenge,
Löffel voller Zimt essen, ist das nicht komplett gefährlich?
this next trick sounds simple but can get pretty spicy. It's simply eating a spoonful of cinnamon. Ground cinnamon may be a tasty baking addition, but it's impossible to eat on its own for most people.
Bro,
We don't suggest trying this at home.
das ist
When
bestimmt
eating
komplett
cinnamon,
eklig.
Cinnamon can coat and dry the mouth and throat, resulting in coughing, gagging, vomiting, and inhaling cinnamon itself can lead to throat irritation, breathing difficulties, and risk of pneumonia or a collapsed lung. Although this is dangerous, many people are
Junge,
successful
was
in
passiert
making
da
use of
denn?
cinnamon. It's weird to see such a strange and dangerous
Was
thing
geht denn da
because it used to
ab?
be such a massive and popular trend on the internet. Number 2, tickling yourself. We all have ticklish spots that friends and loved ones love to zero in on. Being tickled.
Stimmt, man kann sich nicht selber kitzeln, ne? Oder? Könnt ihr euch selber kitzeln, dass ihr davon lachen müsst? Ich kann das nicht. Das geht nicht. Ich kann mich nicht selber kitzeln. Doch, kann man. Nein, ich kann mich nicht selber kitzeln. Also hier bin ich übertrieben kitzeln, wenn das jemand macht, aber es geht nicht. Unter die Füße vielleicht, warte mal. Geht das unter Füße? Okay. Das geht. Ich bin besonders. Jawohl.
Makes us laugh, squirm, and sometimes even more. And if you're anything like normal people, it makes you reflexively punch and kick anyone within reach. On paper, it might sound easy to do, but in practice, it's near impossible to genuinely
An der Füße
tickle yourself
easy.
to the point of laughter. This is because you will always brace for the touch.
Einfach so random liegst du so im Bett und kitzelst dich selber und lachst. Das ist schon fast so gut wie Emmy, die sich selber Gesundheit sagt.
The mind immediately goes into defense mode, and your body doesn't react the same way as if someone else was actually genuinely tickling you. Unless there is a disconnect between you and your subconscious mind, your touch will always be anticipated. Number 1, putting your foot behind your head.
Oh no.
Finally and lastly on our list of weird things the human body can do is the ability
Oh
to
no.
place your feet behind your head.
Das kann ich nicht. Glaube ich. Da bin ich zu dumm für. Oh nee. Soll ich das jetzt machen? Das kriege ich, glaube ich, nicht hin. Warte mal. Hinter den Kopf? Ich krieg das ja. Ne. Da breche ich mir alles. Wenn ich das jetzt mache. Ne. Also hier ist Ende. Da ist Ende. Eine Höhe geht das nicht. Ansonsten breche ich mir was. Ah, jetzt habe ich Krampf. Da bin ich zu fett für. Da bin ich raus. Wer kann das von euch drei? Oh, nee. Nee, das brauchen wir nicht. Das machen wir nicht. Nee. Da bin ich raus. Da bin ich raus.
In order to put your foot behind your
Beide
head, it
hinter den
requires
Kopf, what the
extreme
fuck?
flexibility. Simply placing both legs behind one's head may come and sound easy to some gymnasts or to Sheen Estevez from Jimmy Neutron, but to an average Joe, this task would be completely impossible. Even if you were to practice and stretch every single day, this does not guarantee that you will be able to do this, because it really all depends on the body type. Well, that's our video for today. Can you do any of these weird and wonky...
Okay. Also, was ziehen wir daraus? Wir sind... Ich...